guys, it's Kathy, and this is the first of a photo focus series. You might be watching this on Patreon, or you might be watching this on YouTube. This is a Patreon poll that I did, and it was decided that my next little mini series should be about multi-photos and two-page layouts. So this first one is just a multi-photo layout, and I actually just recorded a two-page spread. So I'm going to be kind of doing a mix of both, just different ways to kind of get lots of photos on on a scrapbook layout or double-page spread. And in case anyone's wondering why I said YouTube versus Patreon, this is going to be available for all my Patreons much sooner than YouTube. So this is kind of one of the perks, is you're going to be getting, you guys will get early access to stuff, so as well as free stuff. So if you want to become a patron to the channel, it doesn't matter the amount you pledge, you will get access to this. So I'm really excited to do this for all my patrons, because I know this is one that a lot of people ask about for scrapbookers, is people still doing two-page layouts or layouts with a lot of photos. So this one's actually got 8 photos, and they're small. So this is a great way to get smaller photos, maybe not the greatest photos. So these are from my trip to the UK. This is just from when I was in London. I have a separate thing of when I was in Scotland, and these are pictures that I would not normally scrap singly. Like, I was not going to do a single page spread about any of these photos. These were just some scenery photos or just fun photos that I took. So I thought, what better way to showcase the photos that I still liked but didn't want to do full page spread by doing just a little grouping of them, tiny. And I decided to take an old Dear Lizzie paper. I don't know what collection it was from. It might be Fifth and Frolic. So that's kind of old. And there was one that had a bunch of cut apart frames. So I cut them apart. The photos are just a little over 2 inches by 2 inches, and just kind of stuck them inside. I kept the colors. I didn't come with a whole lot of colors on the paper, so I went with like beiges and pinks and blues, because that kind of matched where I was going, but there is still like red in the photos, which is totally okay for me. And then I kind of decided which paper I wanted to use, and I remembered this other number paper that was from Dear Lizzie Saturday, which was kind of a traveling collection, and I have it and barely used any of it, so I thought I would. And I really like that paper, but I wanted to tone it down, so I cut some vellum, and then I stitched around it with some kind of dark thread. It wasn't like a specific color. I think it was like a dark green or something. And then I had made some confetti out of using a hole punch and just random pieces of cardstock. And I shoved it and some sequins inside of it, just to have something kind of going on. I didn't put a whole lot, because I really didn't want to go like crazy with more background stuff, because there already was a ton of background stuff. And then I decided to do a strip of paper that's an old basic gray paper, and I punched that notebook edge along it, because I really like that paper punch. And I don't know, I just wanted like a strip of paper that grounded it. And then I decided, you know what, I want something on top of this vellum, and I really love yellow. It's one of my favorite colors, and I thought, well, why not just go and take some modeling paste and some paint and do something on top of it. And my modeling paste is it's not that it's old, but it definitely has hardened a bit. It's not soft and malleable. You have to kind of work it. So I had to really work it. And I put a lot of paint in with the modeling paste to get a very, very vibrant color, since modeling paste is white. And it's not like perfect. Believe me, it's very kind of all over the place, but I don't mind that. I just put it in the top and the bottom so it would have a few spots where it would peek out. And then I took a transparency that was a polka dot one that I think I bought at Michael's, and I'm just gonna put it over top of the strip. And this is just kind of like a very subtle added piece, like you barely see it. But I just like the look of it. I just thought it was kind of cool to have this other little piece, and you could kind of see the polka dots, and you could kind of see that it was shiny. But I really, like, one of my favorite ways, if I'm gonna do a lot of photos, is to do something like get a bunch of tiny little frames, like wood veneer frames, or you could even just fussy cut your own frames out of cardstock, like, what's it called? Pattern paper, and make really cool frames. And I actually think I'm going to be doing that soon, is just doing it on my Silhouette and creating a cut file that looks like a Polaroid kind of frame, and doing stuff like that. So I really love using frames. I know they're not, nobody's really making them anymore, but they were really popular for a while, and I think it's a great way to kind of frame out a lot of photos. And I mean, if you only had 4, you could fill the rest with pattern paper or embellishments or something like that. Those little strips are from this 6x6 Heidi Swap piece that I bought one time before I got my Silhouette, and it was just like laser cut paper, and I don't know, it was just different shapes. It was kind of weird. Don't know what the deal was with it, but I bought it, so I just thought I'd use some of it up just to kind of, I don't know, I'm trying to go a little bit kind of funky and modern, and not really thinking too much about why something is placed in a certain area, just that I like it. Anyway, you can see the yellow popping out in behind, and I really like that because there's red in the photos, but there's also like yellows and bright colors, so I didn't want it to all just be pastel colors. Anyway, I popped up all the pictures on foam and didn't bother worrying about them being perfectly straight. I actually like them not straight. The bottom corner is going to have the title. I went through some really old ephemera, and most of the transparencies that you see there are transparencies from a really old Studio Calico kit that I got a long time ago. And I grabbed a whole bunch of them, and it took me forever to go through the ephemera. That's why I didn't show it, because I went through like 3 containers of ephemera to find stuff, and I just grabbed things that I like and haul them out and kind of place them around and see if I like them there. And if I do, then I'm gonna stick them down. And I don't want something peeking out from every corner of every photo or anything like that, just here and there. But I really like that cityscape down at the bottom, just because this was a lot of like touring around the London, main, like downtown London area, and then other places. This was, and I kept my photos in chronological order. So like the one of me, like half my head, is actually from my first day of touring, and then it kind of continues on. One's at Windsor, where Windsor Castle is, one's in Bath, and then we kind of, the last day, just toured around and did stuff. So I kept them in order, and it worked out perfectly with the colors and everything like that. So it was a nice way to kind of showcase this little outing besides all the single ones that I'll be doing later. But yeah, I really liked the frame around the frame at the top because it emphasized it, and there's a lot of like navy blue kind of gray colors going on in it too. And I have some puffy stickers that I bought when I was away in England and Scotland, and they have like little they were London based puffy stickers, so they have the phone booth and all the kind of icons of London, so they're there. So I'm gonna use a few of them. Some of the colors don't really match, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Like there's the double-decker bus and stuff like that, so I'm gonna stick those around and just have fun with bringing in some more red into the layout. So this is like a really bright, funky kind of quirky layout, but I actually really love it. I really like how it turned out. I'm very happy with, I mean, there's not a ton of embellishing going on, but you don't really need it. There's so many photos on it already. There's, you know, color and design and pattern and stuff everywhere that you don't need a whole lot. I do kind of fiddle around with a bunch of puffy stickers. These are some puffy stickers from Dear Lizzie Saturday, which is also about travel, but I think it's more focused on traveling in like the United States type stuff. Like there's the yellow taxis and side vendor kind of things like burgers and pretzels and that type of thing. But there were definitely some that would work really well. And I did put the taxi down below because, I mean, we still did get around through taxis as well as buses and stuff like that. So I think besides the title, the last thing I did was put some big black splatters on. And I did my usual where I watered down, oh yeah, I keep trying to put like this black camera in. I do eventually put it somewhere. So black watered down paint in nice big splatters. And I do get a little impatient and I start flicking it, and I wish I'd stop doing that because when I do, it makes like lines and I don't really like how that looks, but yeah. Anyway, so I am going to put, my title's going to be LDN, and that's just, I don't know, I just really like Lily Allen and I liked that song, so I thought it would be a great title to just do that in the corner. So lots of big black splatters and my title, and then that's going to be about it for this layout. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's just, I don't know, there's like something kind of cool about it. I love grid designs. I love using frames. I loved how many photos I got onto this particular page. So that's 8 photos that didn't really need to have their own specific story, that now are part of the story anyway. And for those who are watching, there are going to be more videos coming up. As I said, 2-page spreads, multi-photo layouts, and all kinds of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you all in the next video. So I don't know when it ends, but have an awesome day. And if you're not a Patreon or a subscriber, make sure you have fun and do that. Love to see us. Bye.